Hi, welcome to Youth Services Outreach. This is the State Library of Iowa's core endorsement program. My name is Janae Jackson Doring, and I'm the Youth Services Consultant for the State Library of Iowa. So if you have questions about outreach, programming ideas, or if you're brainstorming and you just need some extra feedback, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to help you and assist you. So today we are talking about outreach and libraries. While your library's main goal is drawing in patrons, outreach is simple. It's meeting people where they are. So you are physically out into the community. And outreach is an essential part of youth services and to the health of your community. So let's say, for example, you're doing outreach, you're out in the community. A lot of organizations and schools, daycares will start to get to know you when they see you providing outreach services. And so when it's time for those services and those organizations to partner, they will ask, who could we partner with? Who could we partner with? And then they'll say, the library. So outreach is an essential part of youth services, and it's essential to the health of your community because it's going to help you and help the library to say, yes, we are a vital part of this community. And youth services outreach makes your library visible to your community. It helps tell people what we do. It's a great way to showcase to non-library users what we can do and what we can offer. So what exactly is outreach? The definition of outreach is the extent or length of reaching out. Outreach targets infrequent patrons or non-library users, those users that do not come into the library, that do not know what services a library can provide. Outreach targets underserved communities. So what do I mean by underserved communities? We are talking about homebound residents. We're talking about immigrants, refugees, those communities that are not receiving library services in person or outside the library. And often these are youth populations. So as youth librarians, you'll be working with kids or teens who may not have the transportation to get to the library, or they can't access library services. So that is the case for outreach. Outreach for teens and kids, if they can't get to you, you go to them. And outreach is about equity of access. What does equity mean? Equity means information for all. So providing services to all. So what does outreach look like? So here's some examples. Outreach could be hosting a booth at a farmer's market. Outreach can be a story time at a local daycare or preschool. Children in preschools and daycares, they have the same right to a quality story time, just as the parents and caregivers that come to the library for story times. Outreach can be attending a middle school's career fair. So you might have a table or a booth at a middle school, and you're telling teens and even the teachers, hey, this is what the library provides. We have teen programs, we have books, we have ebooks, audiobooks. You're telling this community, this is what the library can do and what we can provide. Outreach can also be visiting the local Kiwanis Club meeting and talking about youth programs and what kind of programming is at the library. Outreach can be informing families of the summer reading program, maybe at a family fun night at the elementary school. You might have a table or a booth, and you might be able to talk to families about summer reading and the upcoming programming that's going to be with summer reading. And because of the pandemic, outreach can also be recording a YouTube video, singing nursery rhymes, or showing how to make a craft. Those are all wonderful examples of what outreach can look like. But I hear a lot of people say, I don't have time for that. I don't have the staff for that. I can't get anyone to work with me and partner with me. We hear you and we understand, but You can find ways to make outreach work for you, for your library. And here's how. So I don't have the time. I hear you and I understand you. Outreach is a priority in youth services. And the reason why it's such a priority is because it solidifies your place in the community. So many times I would go to outreach events and set up a booth or a table at a fair or a festival, and we would be talking with patrons, potential patrons, and they would say, I didn't know the library had that. I didn't know the library could do that. That is why outreach is so important. You are getting to know the community, and the community is learning from you what the library can provide. What resources does it have? What story times they have? What children's programs or teen volunteer programs it has? You are their source of information. So this solidifies your place in the community. You also need to plan your outreach time. Plan it out in ways that works for you and know your limit. So for example, you really want to go to the preschools to read to the kids for story time, but oh man, I don't have desk coverage, or I don't have time for that. Talk to the daycare teachers, talk to the schools, talk to whomever you're partnering with, let them know where you're at, and they will let you know where they're at. Work together so that way you can build a schedule. So maybe you might say, hey, I'm going to try to go to this preschool once a month. I'm going to schedule desk time for it. Carve out that time, make it a dedicated time for you to do research, and let that person know this is what I'm able to do. Because when you know your limit, you are able to plan better. So plan it out, plan that outreach time out in ways that works for you and your library. I don't have the staff for that. Again, we understand budgets are tight, staffing is tight. Outreach can look different in many different ways. And especially now, it looks very differently now. So if you can't get out of the library, or if you don't have the staffing to do what you'd like to do, record YouTube videos. You could record YouTube videos of story times or how to make a craft. Or if you have book talks that you'd like to conduct with the middle schoolers or high schoolers or elementary schoolers, you can record yourself conducting a book talk, several book talks, and send them to the teacher. Or another way, you could pass out flyers about library services and take them to organizations or schools, daycares, clubs, etc. Outreach isn't always about getting out of the library. It's about community engagement. So engaging with groups and daycares and all these different organizations to tell them this is what the library can provide, and asking them, what can we do for you? How can we help? I can't get anyone to work with me. Outreach is tough. It's not easy. It's tough. And I really want you to not give up. Do not give up. Be persistent. It takes work, and it's built on trust. Outreach is built on trust, and it's trust that has to be earned. Once you're out in the community conducting outreach events, a lot of people will start looking to you to say, wow, they are a reliable partner. They are a reliable source of the community that I can tap into. So it has to be built and it has to be earned. So reach out to partners you've never considered partnering before. Be open, be flexible. Maybe there's different ways to form partnerships. And you just need one partner to begin with. Whether it's going out to that teacher and saying, hi, I'd like to come out for a story time. Can I come visit your school? Or, hi, I would like to talk to the teens about summer reading. Can I come visit with your group? You just need that one person to start with, and then the rest will fall into place. So do not give up. Okay, So we have the slide of partners. I would like for everyone at this moment, take a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. We're going to do a little bit of brainstorming. And what I would like for you to do, I would like for you to think of different partners that you could partner with and brainstorm big, dream big. It could be anyone, but take a couple seconds and think of some partners that you could potentially partner with. And while you are brainstorming, I will show you some potential partners. So who can we connect with? Obviously, schools is right at the top of the list. For any youth librarian, you want to get into the schools. So you're talking elementary, middle school, high school. Who could you connect with at the schools? Maybe it's a secretary. Maybe it's the teacher librarian. Maybe it's a second grade teacher that you've been wanting to work with. Think about the different avenues you could go through to connect with the schools. Maybe it's a guidance counselor if you're trying to talk to the high school about teen volunteers, maybe connecting with the guidance counselor there. So schools is at the top of any youth librarian's priority list for partnering. You also have preschools and daycares. They are a wonderful source to partner, especially if you are hosting programs at the library and you want to conduct story times or programming with them. So maybe reaching out to the Head Starts or reaching out to the daycares, whether it's inside a actual school or if it's an in-home daycare. So think about preschool and daycares. I added food banks and food pantries because that would be also a great group of individuals to partner with. The pandemic has left us in such a bind. There are a lot of families that are struggling, and they're struggling for food, resources, and the library is a great place for everyone to gain more resources. But maybe connect with your food bank or food pantry. Maybe during summer reading, going out to the food pantry sites and signing up kids for summer reading while they're getting food and giving the kids a book. That could be a great partnership, but that's just something to think about. Museums. Museums would be a wonderful place to partner as well. I added juvenile behavioral centers because that would be a wonderful way to expose young teens about the library and what services they could provide. Another group would also be after school clubs. So you're talking your 4-H, Boys and Girls Clubs, Big Brothers, Big Sisters Clubs, Boys and Girl Scouts. Those would be wonderful, wonderful groups that you could talk to about partnering and partnerships. Local businesses. Now, when I say local businesses, you're probably asking, how can I partner with them? You could ask them to hang up flyers. Hey, can I hang up my flyer about summer reading in your store? Or if they could pass out brochures in their store. That would be a great way to partner. You also have social services. You can talk to them about partnering for programs. And also think about your city departments. What departments within your city could you ask to help be a partner? Think about Parks and Recreation, Public Works, the fire department, maybe asking the fire department, hey, would you be willing to come out for a special story time at the fire department? Or, hey, Public Works, we would love to have a garbage truck here for story time and a sanitation worker come talk about their job. How can you help? So those are just some things that you could do or different resources that you could use to help connect and partner. So with our picture here of the elevator on the left-hand side, this is there because I'm wanting to share with you, have your elevator speech for the library ready to go. What do I mean by elevator speech? Basically, an elevator speech is just a short speech about why you want the library in the community. So in your case, I would put together a small speech that says, hi, this is who I am. I'm with the library. This is why youth services is important. Outreach is important in our community. Have that ready to go. Practice it. And then when you're meeting presenters and organizers and different groups and entities, you have that elevator speech ready to go so that way you can advocate for the library. And when a partner says, yes, we'd love to have you, say yes, give it a try, work with that partner, see what develops out of it. See what comes out of it. And who knows, you might grab more partnerships along the way. And again, know your limits because there's only so much you can do. So make sure you know those limits and identify a target population and focus on that group. So for example, let's say you're trying to reach more underserved populations. Maybe for you, for your community, maybe you'll say, okay, I'd like to reach more teens in the lot and get them to come to the library. So maybe I go to a teen volunteer group and talk about library services. So really identify a target population in your community and focus on that and build on it. And finally, reach out. Outreach expands your library beyond the physical building. You, as a representative of the library, you solidify your place in the community and you bring the library to people who need it the most. Youth outreach is filled with so many partners and so many partnerships, potential partnerships. And my really big advice to you, keep trying. Do not give up. Be persistent, be flexible, open, plan out that outreach. And you just need one partner to start with. You just need that one teacher that says, yes, you can come into my classroom and talk books with my students. You just need one partner to say, yes, we'd love to come out and provide a program for you and your library patrons. And thank you so much for viewing. And if you'd like to learn more, please contact the State Library of Iowa. Thank you for watching.